All right, guys, we're going to take a look at chapter 239 of JJK and see what's going on with Kenjaku. Now, the story just changed from Yuji and Higuruma into characters that are a little more prevalent, so we're going to go ahead and take a look at that. Now, it looks like a girl is actually running from Kenjaku, and she's one of the resurrected characters that came to kind of bolster and get stronger sorcerers into the culling games. And yeah, it looks like we're gonna go ahead and see what's going on. And I'm not sure if this is Uro or not. I don't know if they ever explicitly say so. She has really similar features, if not. It looks like Kenjaku's just kind of insulting her. Now she turns and tries to use like a hair spike and shoot it at Kenjaku. But I'm not sure what he just did to her. He just kind of tapped her and made her go into like some kind of hypnosis. I'm not sure what he's gonna do. Why does he know all the location of all the players? Okay. Yeah, he applied cursed objects and seals to them to actually trace their location. So yeah, he knows where all these people are, all the ones he brought back. And he says even if he didn't, they seem to all reside within the colony. So yeah, it's I guess he always knew where they were for the most part, and they made it pretty easy for him. This is the guy that throws eyeballs and like body parts at people, Hazenoki, and he actually is having a little dialogue with Kenjaku, trying to question what it takes to become his friend, saying you can't be boring and you have to be his equal. So if you don't meet those requirements, you obviously can't be a friend of Kenjaku. But he says he's not making long-haired friends either way, and he's probably referencing Reggie, because Reggie was he was kind of a con man and was looking to more so take advantage of the people around him, which makes sense why he wouldn't trust him after that. And yeah, it looks like he knows Gojo is dead now through the stream, and he kind of self-verified that Sukuna has this new ability to slice through space. So, yeah. But this is a really important scan, and as far as like versus battles and things, this is something that's really important. Kenjaku kind of verifies that they can measure the amount of cursed energy entire people have, right? Or entire fields have. So he's looking at the aggregate of like, 15 sorcerers or whatever. Here they give, it's 9. And so he's measuring all of these sorcerers that are potentially at play and looking at their cursed energy to say, I can determine if a single person leaves this field, right? But he also calls Okotsu their number 2, right? Which is another really important thing he's kind of mentioning. So yeah, he can also see visually what's going on. So he can tell people like Maki, who don't have that, of course have 0 cursed energy now, whether they can essentially be detected as well. And yeah, he's just kind of confirming he has like straight up eyes on whatever's going on over there. And Hazenoki says, man, that makes you like pretty much a coward, right? And yeah, there's a fight obviously that occurs between Hazenoki. He's throwing his body parts, using them as like explosives, throws his eyeballs, but he can use RCT, right? So looks like he's turning up. And Kenjaku targeted his head to kind of show him, hey, even if you have RCT, I know I can target your head and end the game. So, in this like back and forth. And he talks about his end game. Kenjaku's pretty much saying, I want to trigger the binding vow by defeating all the culling games players and, turn everyone in Japan into a part of Tengen, right? Into this higher life form, because that's what he wants to see. That's going to be his next creation, right? And finally, we get my boy, I forget, Takaba, right? So he came, and he doesn't know how he actually got away from his sensing ability, and that why no one's actually watching Takaba, right? So it looks like he really has no idea, Kenjaku that is, as to why they sent Takaba instead of someone else, right? But he said he's not very interested in the players that he awakened, and he just did it to bulk up the numbers to sacrifice for the culling games. And the only person that has potential is Higuruma, which we might see in a chapter or two. But the important thing is Takaba got tapped, like this attack that was like cranking out Choso is actually completely negged by Takaba. And it seems like he was forced, or the ability was forced into not doing damage by Takaba because he gives a pun the moment when the side character absolutely steals the show, right? And so that might be when he finds things funny or whatever it is, but that attack literally just had its, negation, or its AP negated. So, yeah, it looks like there's some upscaling for Takaba. His ability might be like broken, but we'll see, because this is a very strange one-on-one scenario. You wouldn't expect him to go one-on-one with Kenjaku, but we're gonna find out what happens and the kind of the limits to his abilities. So it was a good chapter. It took away from some other things, but Kenjaku literally had 3 fights in one chapter, or at least started 3 fights in one chapter. So yeah, this is breakneck speed at this point. Story's only going to keep going. I'm kind of excited. I want to see what happens with Yuji next, but it was a nice little break. Really, really random to break it up at that point, because the real fighters outside of Gojo just showed up. And Kashima. Kashima got beat up, of course. But, yeah, the main cast is back in the fray, so let's see what you guys got, and I'm waiting for the next chapter.